Hello, welcome back. Okay, since the last video, done a fair bit of tidying up and tried to start categorising some of these rails that I've acquired and put the things into the side basically. So it tells me obviously these are obviously Hornby, different radiuses, and I've got some other track up there. I've basically just written the code on the side so I have a rough idea of what they are. And obviously these are Bachmann lines. A couple of the old Hornby points. So what I've decided to do, as you can see, our floor is all done now. There's a little bit of the edge to do, but that's not going to interfere with me working, so to speak. I'll patch that up at a later date, but at least that gives me some extra space now. And yeah, it's looking good. The floor over here gives me access straight to here, so a lot better. Leaving this bit alone at the moment because we're waiting for the contractors to come back in and see if they can have this not only put up correctly, botch tape, but essentially have it moved. So we'll, as I said before, we'll have it probably going up to there, 90-degree elbow, and then basically straight across to where it should have been. So that'll get that out of the way, and hopefully then at a later date I can put some boards across here and do another part of the layout. I'm not too sure what I've decided to do for this at the moment. There was a couple of suggestions from some of the guys that subscribe to my channel to do like a museum or a privately owned line, try and do a recreation of that. So there's a couple of things there, you know, in the winds. We'll have to wait and see. You see, obviously, more stuff being put together. So yeah, sorry, as I was saying, this is my newest purchase. It's a Lima Class 37. I actually got it for £25. It's an old DC model, so it'll need to be upgraded. But I got that from there was some train toy convention thing going on in Wootton Bassett Tuesday just gone, and I think they go every third Tuesday of the month. They don't have a great deal of stuff, a lot of old sort of dinky toys, cars, that sort of stuff. There is some rail stuff there that I bought, or well, they have, and obviously I managed to buy this one, and that'll get converted to a DC later on. I've also picked up, it says BTs on it, but they were taken over by Gauge Master. So this is basically a dual train controller, and got a couple of inputs in here. So at the moment that's just going to sit aside either for running the DC trains, and also it'll give me the option to start powering up any lights or points until I get like the proper stuff. I mean, it's all a work in progress, unfortunately, but slowly but surely I'm getting a few things put together now. So as from the last time, obviously all the floor's done, and we've managed to do all this corner in now. This is all boarded up quite nicely, and obviously I removed all the track and everything I had down before. So that's basically ready to go now. While I'm here, obviously you guys might have noticed this. This is very kindly been given to me by Mark from Western Centurion, and it was his friend Daryl who actually created this on AnyRail, I believe. Obviously Mark knew that I was going to be doing a current version of Swindon Station, and kindly passed this over to me. So big shout out for Mark from Western Centurion, many thanks for this, and obviously to his friend Daryl. And yeah, keep up the good work. That's a really good detailed plan. I've basically printed it on A4 sheets and stuck it together. You can have them larger if you want, but obviously it does drop off the side, so in all essence it will stretch the whole length of this, which in some ways is good. In other ways it'll just mean that on each end it'll have quite sort of tight corners, or corners at a third radius at any rate. So we might have to sort of maybe just reduce the length on this. We'll wait and see. When I did a mock-up a few days ago, I had about 5. I could probably squeeze in 6 carriages, 6 rakes, and obviously an intercity 43 on either end. So that's my area so far, and what I'll do now is I'm going to put this up into the corner somewhere, get it set up, and then just let it video, and I'll just go through the motions now of trying to lay out this station. One thing I noticed on my previous lot, for my last video, I put a box here to represent the office blocks. That's at Swindon Station. The only thing I found is that if it's too far back, it interferes with this cross beam. So I'm either going to have to shift the lines forward, or I may just push it to the side. I'm not too sure yet. It'll be as I start putting things together. Well, I'll make a decision as to where to get that office block in. But yeah, so without further ado, I'll put this up to the side, and we'll start laying out some of the track. Okay, I'll catch you in a bit. So, a bit longer than expected. This is pretty much the layout that I've got so far. Just take that away. So this bit here, trying to recreate there. Obviously with the Pico turnouts that I'm going to use, electric frogs, there'll be a smoother incline onto the other tracks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just string these tracks around onto this bit here, and I'll probably do this turn off on this table here somewhere, and the rest will go around the back and then eventually go around. So that's slightly better. There's still a few adjustments I need to make. That middle platform, it's going to be scratch built, and it's going to be slightly wider, so this track will come down slightly once I do a few more adjustments. But this is basically version 2 of the layout, and hopefully, as you can see, it starts bringing things together. One thing I noticed is that these two tracks are pretty much level, but this one is lower. So what I'm going to do is take that into account using some of this track cork, This is quite thin cork that I've got in here, but what I'm looking at doing is getting some 3mm thick cork to put on the main track, and that'll raise it up a little bit, and then maybe put one of these on top, depending on how realistic it looks. And then this track then will have that a situation where it's lower down, because that track will be quite low all the way across. And from here, what I'm planning on doing is obviously a couple of points. There's an extra track that I've got to put in there that will eventually join into this one. Bring it around again, and on this board here, once all this stuff's removed, essentially this will be the old sort of fiddle yard, which has now been converted into the electrical training centre. So when I start getting some shots of that, that'll go in place. But essentially these lines will come across. I don't know if you can see that. Just put the light on there. So these will come across. These will probably feather into back into two or to one track. Come across. These to the rear. This one's going to feather into. Sorry, the outer one is going to feather into the second. And at the moment, I'm undecided. I may drop this down through there and then bring it underneath and do like a second layout, but that is not going to be for quite a while. So there you have it. So this weekend I need to go and get some cork and some glue, and I'll start gluing this track down. I'll do some fine measurements again. I noticed earlier on I was doing some measurements. That's for between this track and this track. The centre lines, from what I've been told, is 2 inches. But I'm going to check it again. So obviously this track is going to be a little bit wider. So these things will move across a little bit. Just to take an account. Yeah, so that's what it looks like from there. We'll see how we get on after the next week or so. Hopefully some of the cork will be in, and yeah, hopefully it'll come together quite well. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and keep adding your comments and your tips. Many thanks. Okay, welcome back. Right, as you can see, I managed to get this wired in to give us a temporary voltage, and basically with the any rail track plan that I was kindly given to, I've been able to concentrate doing one of the main tracks, as you can see. This one here. So this is a running track at the moment. I need a couple of points, one to go on there, and then second point onto there, and I think I might need a third sort of round here somewhere, just to bring this line around. So they're in hand, they'll be pico points. I'll get those sorted. Obviously we've got platform 2 here, which is pretty much laid down, cork's been laid, a bit of flexi track added. This bit here might get cut back a little bit, just to make room for obviously the point where this line will join onto that one, goes across, and obviously gives the option. Then obviously it'll go onto the third track, or it'll come onto this track here, which will curve around. So that's pretty much done. I've got a little bit of a thing here where I need to angle this down, slope this bit down, like I've done with this one. But I'll get around to that at a later time. As you can see on these ones here, I've been busy laying down some cork bedding, and what I've done here is, on the photos and everything that I've seen, predominantly these two tracks are pretty much the same level, but for this track is quite a bit lower. So what I've done there is I've laid down some base cork, this one here, and then I've put in a thin layer of cork strip on top. Details of the cork thicknesses will be at the end of the video if anyone's interested. So what I've done is effectively given platform 3 a lower profile as opposed to the main pass-through line, and then platform 4. Let's get it out of the way. And yeah, it's coming on quite well. So this track here, let's see, platform 1, and this MDF board was a real good find because I managed to be able to recreate this curve really well, and obviously slopes down at the end. I've had to put this piece on just to extend the board because I only bought one of these, but I've put that on. I've glued it and then sandwiched it, and then obviously put a couple of screws in just to sort of keep it nice and tight, and it seems to have done a really good job. This is just something I'm quickly experimenting with just to try and blacken it down a bit, but it'll probably end up having either some sort of grey primer, and when I get to look at some more decent photos, decide whether it's going to be a tarmac based or whether it's just going to be either slab or concrete finish to the platform. So we come along here then, obviously started to finish off laying off the rest of the cork onto here, and then gradually start bringing this slope down. I'll put a couple of little things inside there sort of thing, but I've taken that top layer off from here so it brings it back down again, and it'll start coming nice and level. This track runs through, and this one, and this one has been laid up to a point, and this obviously then folds on straight through. But what I've done here is I'm leaving this as it is at the moment because I'm in two minds whether to drop the two rails down, go down underneath the board, go all the way along, and go underneath that access there and underneath this baseboard. It's not made up my mind yet, so it's a work in progress. I'll make a decision at some point, but predominantly this is going to be the main line. As you can see, a couple more boards have gone in, and oh yeah, our ventilation tube is being correctly fitted now by the contractors, so it's no longer in the way, and that enabled me to put in the other two boards and finish off this middle one, piece this all together, and obviously the gap there, so that's all nice and sturdy. Obviously, like I say, I'm still using my any rail layout that I was kindly given by Mark and his friend Daryl. Floor's done. I need to pick up a set of 3 more chipboard flooring, a couple of stanchions, and then that area will be complete. So that'll give me my workspace. I'm not going to bother with anything at the back here at the moment until I find out whether I'm going to be putting in a second layer at a later future date, which will go all the way around. I'm not sure yet. It really depends. At the moment it's just giving me enough space just to work on. I just need to put a few more supports in, maybe one on there, just to sort of brace this up just a little bit. But yeah, it's coming along quite well. I'm quite pleased with the platform. I'm still undecided at the moment as to what I'm going to do with the edging. It's either going to be the brick printout paper sheets that you can get on some of the websites that I've seen, or I've seen some Pico sidings that you can buy, which is they're not cheap, and there's quite a lot of track for this particular platform to do on both sides, and then try and get it to angle as well, and go down. So it's a work in progress. I'll make a decision on that at a later date. So anyway, just show you how this runs, and we'll go from there. This is quite an old class 37. I've had it cleaned up, maintenance and serviced in it, and it's running quite well. Apart from the flexure track and the pico track, the rest of the track is predominantly stuff I bought off eBay, either in a fairly decent condition or no longer required, and as needed quite a bit of cleaning up. I'll just slow this one down for a minute and just put it backwards. There we go. So it's been a little bit arduous. Every time I put a piece of track on, I have to take the fish plates off, clean up the track ends, so we can get good continuity for the voltage. But in the same way, you know, it's taking time. But then, you know, these things can't be rushed, because at the end of the day, once these are down, they're going to stay down. So yeah, all in all, skip past. It'd be so much easier if I didn't have a roof rafters. There we go. And then let's see what it's like at top speed, shall we? Bit loud. So, looking good. So I'm getting some stuff sorted for the bus wire. And I bought some of this stuff months ago for another project I had doing in the garage. Never got used, but I think what we're doing is basically stripping this down, taking the blue and the brown wire and use them as buzz wire. And I picked this up from I think it's B&Q, I think, something like that. It's 25 meters. There's your code. It's a max rating of 230 volts, so it's going to be more than enough. So what I started doing is stripping some of this away, just basically peel it off, and the F wire here, I don't think we'll be needing that, so just keep these two, peel off as much as I can, and then do enough so I have an entire run all the way around.